Watching Republicans attempt to spin gold out of piles of horseshit is just, it's a beautiful thing to see. And yesterday, after this story broke with The Atlantic and the Vice President of the United States and the Secretary of Defense and the National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, and Stephen Miller, and a host of other idiots, sharing highly classified, top secret information about our war plans and our war efforts, our attack on the Houthis in Yemen, further brutalizing the country of Yemen. There is now a media onslaught, an assault on the American people, an assault on truth, trying to justify what they did. And really, I guess the overarching refrain is they did a great job. The operation was successful, while ignoring the leaking of highly sensitive classified information that would get anybody else fired and maybe prosecuted criminally for what they did. But because it's Pete Hegseth and, he's Donald Trump's little boy, it's everything's fine. I have 3 clips. 1, Mike Johnson. 2, Josh Hawley. And then we're going to end it with the pinnacle of idiocy, Jesse Waters. It really is a remarkable thing that he is peddling to his audience. And it really makes you wonder just how stupid Fox News viewers are, your average Fox News viewer. Because if they're sucked in by this and this is a convincing argument to them, maybe we're more far gone as a country than I once thought. But first, here's Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson. Really they did a great job. Everything's great.
What you did see, though, I think, was top-level officials doing their job, doing it well, and executing on a plan with precision. That mission was a success. No one was jeopardized because of it. We're grateful for that, but they will certainly, I'm sure, make sure that doesn't happen.
Are they going to make sure that doesn't happen again? Everything was a success when someone without a security clearance, without authorization, without a need to know, was informed of the plan before the plan was executed. Mike Johnson, tell us again how it was just an arousing success. All of this, by the way, these next clips, is really, it's a full court press. It is the effort of the century on Fox News, because they got to convince the unwashed, low information rubes that this is A-okay. Nothing's a problem here. The same crowd that ignored Donald Trump's documents being left in bathrooms at Mar-a-Lago and on stages in open public areas where who knows perused those highly sensitive so sensitive were the documents that they couldn't be generally described in public. I know I've said that a million times, but it's a remarkable thing. Here's Josh Hawley on Fox News, really laying it on thick that this was just a wonderful thing, mission accomplished, nothing to see here.
Plan at 11:44 a.m. The plan included precise information about weapons packages, targets, and timing. Senator, your reaction to this?
Well, I thought what the Secretary of Defense just said, Laura, was an outstanding statement. And listen, I mean, we don't know how much of this is accurate or not, but it looks like even if everything the Atlantic reported is true, it's the president's advisors discussing among themselves options they might recommend to the president. And nobody can deny the success of what the president is doing here, which is what Pete Hegseth just underscored. And this is what the leftist media is reduced to. They can't argue with the policies, which the American people support. They can't argue with this new demonstration of American strength that is keeping Americans safe at home and abroad. And so now we're griping about who's on a text message and who's not. I mean, come on.
Did you catch that? Did you catch it? There are these high-level aides to the president, advisors to the president of the United States. They're discussing amongst themselves, and Jeffrey Goldberg. They're discussing among themselves. High-level policy, high-level war plans. They're discussing among themselves. And the unauthorized reporter from The Atlantic who does not have a security clearance. No security clearance. It's not like you have a security clearance that's top secret or you don't have one. There are many, many levels, all of which appended to each one of them is a need to know. Even if you have the top secret Q clearance, doesn't mean you have access to everything. If you have a code word clearance, it doesn't mean you just can walk into any skiff and say, oh, what's up? Let's learn the deets. That's not how it works. Josh Hawley knows that, but he's too busy practicing Republican eroticism, which involves pleasing Donald Trump and whoever Donald Trump wants pleased at the moment. It's very brothel-like with these Republicans. Very strange. But let's get to the juiciest of all the juice here, and that's Jesse Waters, who makes remarkably daft, absolutely stupid arguments that likely will be gobbled up by Republicans all over the country, listening to him blather on about how it was just like you texting in a group text about your bachelor party and the debauchery, what's the word he uses here? Raunchy. All the raunchy stuff that's going to happen at the bachelor party.
Did you ever try to start a group text? You're adding people and you accidentally add the wrong person. All of a sudden, your Aunt Mary knows all your raunchy plans for the bachelor party. Well, that kind of happened today with the Trump administration. Mike Waltz was putting together a group chat on Signal, an encrypted app, with the Secretary of Defense, the VP, and a bunch of other national security officials to collaborate on whether to strike Iranian proxies in Yemen who keep firing missiles and shutting down shipping. Well, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz accidentally added a reporter to the group text, and not a good reporter. Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic, one of the biggest hoax artists around. Well, he heard some things he probably shouldn't have, but could have been a wee bit of a security breach. But it's not like they homebrewed a server and then bleached it or kept classified documents in their garages next to their Corvette. I'm sure it won't happen again.
Are you sure it won't happen again, Jesse Waters? Are you sure, brother? I'm sure it's not going to happen again. Yeah, they're very careful with the top secret information. I love all of this. One, making sure you know it's an encrypted app, Signal, which is not authorized for use to disseminate and transmit and discuss highly sensitive classified information, even lowly sensitive classified information. It's not a classified, there are resources within the federal government to talk about things like this, where a journalist wouldn't be accidentally included on the text thread. But don't you love this? Do you ever try to start a group text with your pals and you accidentally include Mary? Do you ever do that? Have you ever done that? Have you ever started a group thread to talk about a precision military operation a world away, and then you accidentally include one of your pals? Planning a raunchy bachelor party, Jesse Waters, is a little different than the national security posture of the United States of America and the dissemination of highly sensitive classified material. Wouldn't you say? I also love the little wiggle language here. Well, he heard some things he probably shouldn't have, but this could have been, maybe, we don't know, could have been a wee bit of a security breach. Could have been a wee bit of that's an understatement. And then, of course, it is just remarkable to me that even Jesse Waters, bereft of attention to reality, even Jesse Waters would say that it's like storing classified documents next to your Corvette in the wake of Donald Trump storing classified documents so sensitive that they couldn't even be generally described in public in his bathroom on a stage at Mar-a-Lago. Stack upon stack upon stack upon motherfucking stack of top secret, highly sensitive, SCI level documents. Yeah, ignore that. But Joe Biden, by the way, wrong. Joe Biden, wrong. Hillary Clinton, wrong, using a private server, something I've been talking about for years when it was relevant. Yeah, she shouldn't have done that. And Colin Powell before her shouldn't have done that. We should have far more, and this is all this does, this next chapter in officials not treating top secret information with the respect and properly as they should. It's just another. But the problem is in the hypocrisy. That's what really gets to me. It's these people who banged on and on and on about Hillary Clinton and her server, who banged on and on and on about Joe Biden and the documents next to the Corvette in the garage. They're ignoring the fact that Donald Trump was indicted for this. And the only reason he wasn't prosecuted is because he won an election because 77 million morons voted for him. And he was able to extricate himself from that legal morass. He now controls the DOJ, and his attorney general is on the White House lawn every night talking to Fox News rather than doing her job at the Department of Justice. That's the only reason. He's not innocent of these charges. A grand jury indicted him. They saw the evidence that we have not yet seen and will never see. They saw, and they said, yeah, this goes to trial. There's enough evidence here to go to trial and have a jury look at this to find him guilty and to convict him of his crimes. But we just ignore that. Anyway, what do you think about this? Have you been following it? I'd love to know. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore, mainly on Blue Sky, but there are others, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Not on Nazi Twitter, but everywhere else, at Dollemore. I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.